Hello and welcome to the third episode of Bitbns Crypto Talks. My name is Keith Shetty, and today I'm going to be talking to Omar Hamwi, Regional Manager US Canada of DashPay. To put it in simple words, DashPay is the simplest solution for accepting debit card and credit card facilities for merchant services. Let's learn more about it from Omar. Omar, how's it going?
Good. How are you, Kirtan?
Doing great. Thank you for asking, man. Really appreciate you giving us the time and the opportunity to discuss about the upcoming things that will be happening with Dash. And we have a lot of questions from the users as well with regards to what's the roadmap for Dash and a lot of other things as well. So the first question would be, to begin with, is Dash was launched in 2014 and underwent many changes over the time. Earlier it was XEO, then Darkcoin, and now it is DashPay. How did all these changes help over time?
I think over time, it was, that's a great question. It's really embodied what Dash is about with the name change. And I think that's helped a lot. Our goal is to be a digital form of payment for the entire world with a user experience that's easy enough for your grandmother to be able to use it,
Thank you so much for that. So how did these changes help again?
Well, they helped in the way that any brand change or brand name change would, in the sense that people then started to understand what we were about. I think the previous names, although they were great, may have been a little bit more misleading than away from our strategy and our goal and our vision and so on. Whereas Dash really embodies, Dash the name embodies all of that. And so I believe people were more receptive, in the broader public to a name like that.
Gotcha. Thank you so much for that. And at a glance, people perceive Dash and Litecoin in sort of a similar way. Apart from privacy, what do you think makes Dash a true standout from a Litecoin?
So apart from privacy, we have similarities, of course. So it's not unusual that we would be compared. We're both, been around for a while. Dash has been around since 2014. They've been around since I think 2011, so a few years before us. But our, the technology, the way it works, is that they have some differences. However, at the end of the day, as far as the user is concerned, they're both fast and low-cost transactions. So, but having said that, the differences are a few, and really it's around the governance structure, it's around the masternode network, it's about the block reward, for example, and how it's split. So most cryptocurrencies provide 100% to the miners, whereas of the block reward, whereas us, we focus on 45% to the miners, 45% to the masternode network or masternode owners, and then 10% to the treasury, which goes, pays for the budgets for the Dash Core Group. It also provides grants on the proposals that are put on the network, and the masternodes allowed that system to happen, and the masternodes are voting within that system for these projects to pass that are in the best interest of Dash. So, in addition, they also process Send and, other types of transactions, and also are a cornerstone of the Evolution platform.
Gotcha. I think that really does stand out from what Litecoin is. Thank you so much for that answer again. And I've actually seen some of the relationship that you guys have with different countries, right? And across the globe, you have multiple corporations, some in Germany, some in Venezuela, and a lot others like that. And a lot of them have cooperated. So primarily, who do you think have been more cooperative towards Dash, and which countries haven't so much?
So far, I think countries generally go through kind of a cycle where, they first are, remember about 2 years ago to even early last year, a lot of countries were just didn't understand cryptocurrency or blockchain. There was a lot of negative associations with those due to some events in the past. And so what's happened is that with anything you don't understand, the reaction is usually initially negative. But as soon as they're able to go through that process where they they learn about it and they see the benefits and how they could potentially use it as well. So not just the benefits to the larger public, but also to the governments themselves. They do tend to look at it more favorably, enact regulation, and work with different cryptocurrencies in order to do that, to understand it better, and be able to put the right legislation. And most countries have been, very open to it. Dash, I know, amongst other major cryptocurrencies, are always, willing to sit with governments wherever they are. And, we also have community members all over the world where I've heard that they've also been engaging with different, governments. Governments will ask them questions. For example, what's Dash, what's blockchain, what's, just general questions. Very, in that spirit of trying to become more knowledgeable about the subject, and in order to be able to provide that benefit to their own people. So I can't say specifically which countries have been better than others, but I can say that most countries have been very, willing to work with large cryptocurrency projects, their SEC equivalents as well.
Gotcha. I think it's been great that a lot of Dash activities are happening in different countries for different payment solutions, right? And like you said, it's first negativity because people do not understand what's happening. And once you understand how exactly this is going to help in the ecosystem, that's when people get supported. That's when people understand more about it and start investing. I think that's a fair answer about how you've been getting support from different countries altogether. All right. So recently, Equisex debit card integrated Dash. Any plans for a similar partnership?
Yes, of course, we have many plans. We released a strategy back in September of 2018, I believe it was, where we identified and announced which pillars we're focusing on. These include Venezuela, remittances, the U.S. market, hyperinflation, sorry, that was Venezuela, chargebacks, and cash-based industries. Amongst as well crypto exchanges and that payment infrastructure, so POS systems, debit cards and so on, cold storage wallets. The idea being to be able to take your Dash and use it in any way you'd like. So we have been engaging with several companies, both within the debit and credit card space, as well as within POS and POS terminals and payment apps and so on. So you will see a lot of news coming up, in the near future around that area.
Awesome. So what you're saying is, so this is just the beginning, debit cards and credit cards. So you're looking at integrating Dash on pretty much all the payment gateways, or it could be POS or any kind of top-ups or anything as such, right?
Exactly. Yeah. So
that
we want to be
fantastic.
We want merchants to be able to accept Dash, and we want customers to be able to pay in Dash, and, in the way that they're most comfortable with.
That is fantastic. Thank you so much. And I'm personally excited to see a lot of Dash integrated payments systems. So that would definitely help across the globe to have Dash payments again. So thanks for that again. So apart from cards and remittance, what are your plans for Dash in 2019? And what would be those key areas you'll be focusing on for the year?
So the key areas that we're focusing on, well, let's say our plans and the key areas that we're focusing on are several fold. So right now we have Evolution launching. It's in the process of coming out. It's a phased release. We've released 13.0. We're very excited to be going through this process right now, because I know it's been long anticipated by the community, and it's also going to provide a whole slew of features that are going to open up new use cases. It's going to allow people to do a lot more than your traditional forms of whatever they were doing earlier. In addition to that, we're also doing strategy. We'll also be doing, following through with a lot of our strategy pillars that we released back in September. That includes on the U.S. side, like I mentioned, with the cash-based industries and high chargebacks, focusing on areas where say right now in the U.S. and a lot of Western countries, there are no issues when it comes to digital payments. You have credit cards, you have Apple Pay and Samsung Pay and so on, or you have basically a lot of options that are very easy to use. So where do you get a lot of traction? That's going to be in areas where credit cards are either hesitant about working in or provide or charge high fees, for example, in the high chargeback area. So we see that there is real opportunity there, and so we'll be focusing on those two areas, as well as also in Latin America, which is managed by my counterpart Ernesto Contreras. He's working on a lot of things. For example, his strategy involves Venezuela, hyperinflation, and trying to provide solutions, in terms of being able to buy goods and services for their loved ones. There's also to provide a form of digital payment to the Venezuelans to be able to manage a little bit of that risk of hyperinflation, amongst many other things. There's a large community as well within Venezuela that we're able to work within. And so there are a lot of projects and a lot of engagements that are underway, but also have been released. So I believe that area is where where Dash adoption has shown a lot of success. For example, we launched last year around September as well. We launched Crypto Mobile, and that was a very major release with our partners, Crypto Mobile. They I don't know if you've heard of them. They have these smartphones as well as non-smartphones, but that are really good quality, but affordable for the population. And so what we've done with them is we work together to add the full Dash ecosystem, the ability to buy, spend, and store your Dash on those phones, and to pay at one of the several thousand merchants we have right now in Venezuela. In addition, we also have we've also been working in neighboring areas and to Venezuela to help with the remittance solution. So you have a lot of refugees, they're going to want to send money back to their families, and so we're working on a way that Dash is a cryptocurrency, and by nature cross-border payments makes a lot of sense, and I think there's a natural use case and a fit here. So that's one area that we're working on, and that remittance strategy is also being focused within Mexico and the U.S. channel or corridor. So in that one as well, we've been making significant progress. We're in a number of conversations with every step of that remittance process, as well as with the companies that already have that whole flow set up and have been doing it traditionally through fiat, but now are interested in exploring crypto. So there's a lot of movement on both those fronts, and we're working towards for 2019 to show a lot of value in those areas, amongst many others. So we're working all over the world with our community members, as well as with lots of other companies outside of those different pillars as well, to address adoption within different countries and different industries. So it's not like we're just focusing on these guys. So no, I think with all of those, there are a lot of exciting things for Dash that are coming up. So I'm personally very excited.
Awesome. Thank you so much, man. In fact, even I'm excited as well. I'm sure Bitbns and the entire crypto community is excited about the upcoming new launches in 2019, right? You guys are on the top of the table for any kind of developments or launches or releases as well. So every time you guys do any kind of announcement or a release, everybody looking forward to it. And we always have your back for any kind of activities, any kind of support you need. And hey, thank you so much for giving time for this interview. It's been great, and look forward to doing more of these with you soon.
Oh, thank you very much. And I actually just thank you for having me on the show. And I wanted to throw this out there too. We've been working for nearly a year together, our two organizations, and as well as, us personally. And I just want to say that, Bitbns has been an excellent partner. It's really been a pleasure to be working with you. And you guys are very innovative, and I love the competition we put on together. So if your community is watching this, I hope
There will be
competition. So.
There will be, definitely. Hey, thank you so much for the kind words, Matt. And if there are any other questions from the community that pops up either in the Telegram chat or maybe on the YouTube comments or something, I'll personally get back to you with all those questions, and we're going to be doing this interview again.
Sounds perfect. Thank you. I'm looking forward to it.
Thank you so much. You have a great day, man. Take care.
Thank you. You too. Bye.